Hello. These are just some quick thoughts. I'm working it out as I go along. It's just thoughts on what if NICE was to give in to this very powerful lobby that's trying to block publication of the guideline. You could talk for hours on this. The consequences are unthinkable, and they're vast. There's a few issues immediately come to mind to me, and the obvious issue is this: that if they do give in, then it will be affirming the principle that professionals know better than patients. Well, I'm here to tell you that they do not. Over nearly 30 years of trying to care for someone diagnosed with severe and very severe ME, I have yet to meet a professional who's bothered to listen to my wife. I've yet to meet a professional who's even tried to work out what is going so wrong in her body. It's probably, is it too bold for me to say that I do not believe there is a single professional in the world who understands severe, very severe ME? They couldn't possibly. I'm a trained nurse. I'm still learning. Everything I learned as a nurse had to be turned on its head about how to care for someone. The only people who could possibly understand are those who are going through the situation themselves or are caring for someone in this situation. So if there is a professional in the world who's in the same situation as me, yes, there's a very good chance they will understand, but there's also a very good chance they would not be trying to overturn this NICE guideline. So that's the first issue about which you could write pages and pages and pages about the political and social and health consequences of affirming that professionals know better than patients. I think the history of medicine, just a quick glance will show that, will show how untrue that is. And another issue that obviously comes to mind is if they are allowed to overturn these guidelines. Well, I've been caring for my wife for 30 years. In a few months' time, I'm going to be collecting my old age pension. If things don't radically change, it's extremely likely that we will head into old age, and it's very likely my wife will die without ever knowing what is going wrong in her body. Which brings me to the third issue in this very quick video, and this is the most important issue, I think. If NICE allows this group of clinicians to overturn the NICE guideline, then NICE are affirming a fantasy. I'm not going to use the term lie. I'm going to use the term, they will be producing guidelines for a made-up condition, ME/CFS, that has never and could never, ever, ever exist. The name ME, as we all know, has been stolen from us, and it's been attached for all kinds of political and economic reasons to CFS, and downplayed, diluted, denied, buried, to the extent that ME/CFS is a meaningless term. It's of no use to anyone to be diagnosed with ME/CFS. All that does is close people's minds to ever looking, ever investigating, ever asking the right questions. It leads inevitably, if you try and negotiate your way through the health service, it would lead ultimately to a diagnosis of functional disorder rather than a neurological disorder or a disorder of the endocrine system or something like that. No, it will lead inevitably to a functional disorder because people will not ask the questions and people will not look. It will likely place the current multi-million pound funded network of fatigue clinics right at the centre of service delivery, and there's just no way that that extremely established multi-million pound network of fatigue clinics is going to fundamentally and radically change their practice and outlook. So if NICE gives into this group of very powerful clinicians, it will not only be a profound, unquantifiable tragedy, it will make what's already the greatest medical scandal ever into a scandal of unthinkable historic proportions. It just does not bear thinking about. We pray and hope that sense will prevail. Again, I hope this has made sense. These were just some of my thoughts on the issue. And thanks again for taking the time to watch. Thank you.